Last week, most people's attention were on the presidential debate. But in China, there was another big news. Yes, this one. The Chinese government officially announced the punishment against General Li and General Wei. Now, most of my Chinese audience probably won't expect me to report on this one, but it is a big news. Most medias were talking about it, and well, it's been a big news for almost a year now, and things are becoming less blurry and more clear. I'm going to give you guys some background story on this one. For people who are not familiar with this incident, some are rumors, but there are also many facts as well. And as time goes by, those rumors are becoming facts, okay? And so let's begin. General Li Shangfu, right here, was the ex-defense minister of China, equivalent to Lloyd Austin in United States. He served as defense minister for less than a year between 2022 to 2023. General Wei Fenghe, right over here, was also the defense minister of China, served before Li between 2018 and 2022. There's only one defense minister at one given time, okay? Just so my audience don't get confused here. Now, both were put under investigation after July 2023. So it has been exactly a year now. And last week, okay, Chinese government came out with official statement of the crimes these two defense ministers had committed and the related punishment they will be receiving. Well, the initial punishment, I would say there will be further punishment in the future that has yet to be announced. This is a well-known story conspiracy also for a year now in China, and every Chinese adult probably know this incident one way or the other. But I'm not sure if my foreign audience here know anything about this. So today I'm going to give you guys an extremely condensed version of the story. It's very interesting, I would say, and how it went down. And I'm going to draw a conclusion at the end to tell you guys what I think the impact is to this story and give you guys some of my thoughts, okay? Because if you are Chinese leaning and you watch a lot of English channel regarding how good China is, well, you probably won't run into this story, at least not the detail. I think that you guys might consider this to be, when you look at, CNN and all those news, you consider this to be either disinformation or might be propaganda, but in reality, there's many serious issue here. Now, the whole thing began back in October 24th, 2022. A document was released by the US Air University. It's called China Aerospace Studies Institute. So a US state-operated organization, okay, released this document. And it is still online today. You can Google it and you can find it. The entire thing, okay? It's 255 pages long PDF, which talk about the entire PLA rocket force in great detail. Let me show you guys. This is the cover page. As you can see here, 255 pages long. PLA Rocket Force Organization done by Ma Xi. Right here in the document, okay, it contains extremely sensitive and top secret information on the entire rocket force of China, which is the most prestige force because China, our ground force and our Navy and our Air Force has been, I would say, before the last 2-3 decades has been underdeveloped. And our pride and our, major defense against, other people who want to invade our sovereignty are our missile and nuclear deterrent forces. So this is a very important part of Chinese army, okay? And let me show you guys what this document is about. It includes all the brigade of the PLA rocket force, okay? All the leadership personnel information down to their address in China, how they train their forces, where the missiles and rockets are installed and located, location of all the logistics centers and all the missile silos. Let me show you. This is the table of content, just part of the table of content. Okay, there's like 5 pages of table of contents. It goes down to each individual brigade and where they are located, okay, who runs them. Here, details of the personnel, that is the hierarchy of the army, okay? As you can see here, also the name, the picture, everything. We have, look at here, this one. Look at this map. It details, for example, in Beijing, this is where are those all those logistics centers, information centers, cruise missile centers, as you can see, repair, research, command center, everything, basically, in grave detail. And there's a chance that this is not the only information they have, and this is just what they released, all right? Look at this next pages here. Look at that. All the missiles located in different places across the, shoreline of China. Communication, the model of the missile, this is just, for China, this is tragic, okay? This is probably the biggest military intel leak from China in modern history. No doubt about it. I mean, if I leak this, all right, and China find out, you will never see me again. And if I was in China, you won't even find my body, probably. My parents won't even find my body. This is top secret stuff, okay? And this was released, according to China, okay? Intentionally by the United States at the end of China's most important annual meeting back in 2022. And Chinese political analysts is saying that this is a warning from the United States to China, telling China that we know all your top secret military information, so don't do anything funny regarding, Taiwan or South China Sea and those kind of things, okay? So after this incident, Chinese government immediately put together an investigation team to figure out who the rat is, all right? Who leaked all these top secret intel to the Americans. So between back then and now, there were many rumors circulating in independent media space in China. And against rumors, but many of them turned out to be probably true. Again, I mean probably, okay? Because this is still an ongoing event.
I got this rat, this gnawing, key-eating fucking rat. And it brings up questions.
Now, this is how things happen, okay? Almost like a Hollywood movie. And let's see if you guys like this one. So it ended up that a high military officer in China, or a person who has the information, accidentally or intentionally leaked this information to his son. And his son sold the intel to United States. And according to rumor, the guy was a Chinese student studying here in United States. And one of the turning point of this investigation, and you guys have to listen to this now, actually came from Russia. And this is how it went down, okay? And at the end of this, I want my Russian audience to see if you guys know anything about it, because I have some Russian friends, but they don't pay attention to this kind of thing. So Russia at the time was already in the middle of the Ukraine war. So this was already 2023, okay? During that time, Russia caught a spy, MI6 potentially or something, and Russia interrogated him or her. I have no idea. It was MI6 because, yeah, the thing links back to UK. And during this investigation, okay, this agent exposed some important information regarding this lady here, Lady Fu Xiaotian. Oh, my Chinese audience know where this is going now. Okay, who was this lady? Do you guys know? I think some of my Western audience should know who she is, okay? Okay, this is more or less the official information. Let's see how you guys take it, okay? She was born in China, and she was graduated from Cambridge, master degree. And during her education in United Kingdom, she was converted into a secret operative, all right? After she returned to China, she worked for the Phoenix Television, this channel. I actually, did I use anything from Phoenix? I don't know, but it's reliable. It's reasonably reliable. Okay, let's put it that way. Phoenix Television, okay, as an anchor. And through her work, okay, she got really close to Qin Gang, the foreign minister of China at that time, and had a romantic relationship with Qin Gang. Well, their relationship started way before Qin Gang became the foreign minister of China. It was when Qin Gang was still the Chinese ambassador to the United States. And Lady Fu here even gave birth to a kid here in the United States who was supposed to be Qin Gang's kid. This is highly inappropriate, okay, for a person like Qin Gang because he's already married in China. So that's definitely a big no-no. All right. Okay, we need to pause here for a second. I know we have all kinds of audience here in my channel and different age, different background, patriotic to different countries, but we are all civilized adult men who try to, unravel the mystery of geopolitics and this universe, right? So speaking as a man, okay, to another man, what is she? Like a 7 out of 10? 8 maybe? 9? What do you guys think? Because at one time, okay, she was the most browsed female in entire China social media after the rumors being exposed, right? And people are like, damn, she's hot. I don't blame Qin Gang, man. I would have done the same. And if you go under today, okay, if you go on YouTube and you browse her name in Chinese, and there are, interview of her with other people and also with Qin Gang, and if you go to the ones with Qin Gang down there, you go down into the comment section, okay? Oh my God, it is more colorful than, Jerry Springer show. Things like, okay, let me translate this. Do they screw before or after the interview? Or, what would be their favorite position? All kind of this kind of stuff. And people are feeling, there are people even feeling, very sad and, what a beautiful couple and, how sad and things are. Okay, anyways, but I will give her a 7.5, maybe an 8. Okay, 8. Because I spend too much time here in California and my taste for women have been distorted by American Hollywood culture, and I find Latino women to be more attractive than Asian women. I travel the world a lot, okay, and I came to this understanding that we men measure beauty differently. All right, for example, who was that actress? Hold on. Oh, Penelope Cruz. Yes, Penelope Cruz. Like, I will give her a 9. I find her to be very attractive. But if I ask my Scandinavian clients, friends, they would give her like a 3 or 4 or something. So it's like when I was back in China, okay, and I have this female colleagues I work with, and to me, they look just normal or sometimes below average. And my Scandinavian client is like, oh my God, who is that? She's hot. And I was like, what are you talking about? Who's hot? I don't see anyone hot here. And then they're referring to my colleague, and I was like, okay, all right. So there are times our judgment for beauty overlap regarding women, but there are also a lot of times where we just fish in different ponds. So, God really work in mysterious ways, I would say. Okay, we are a bit off topic here. Let's see. Where were we? So when Lady Fu's identity was exposed by the Russian FSB, Russia did not contact China directly, which is a smart thing to do because Russia doesn't know who else is an agent and which contact could be exposed, right? And because of Qin Gang's position, who is the foreign minister of China at the time, Russia do not know how compromise or the Chinese leadership. So what Russia did, yeah, Russia are extremely experienced in this kind of things. Okay, so according to source, Putin sent Russia's Minister of Defense at that time and put him on a military aircraft and flew to Beijing at night and request to meet with Xi Jinping directly. And I think at that time it was Slovakian. I could be wrong, but yeah. And immediately afterward, okay, Lady Fu was detained. Not sure about her son or her kid. I don't even know the gender of the baby, because that baby is supposed to be a U.S. citizen born in the United States. I heard that baby was born somewhere here in Southern California, because Lady Fu keep taking picture and put on her social media, and many people in China kind of call cross reference the things, and it feels like it's somewhere in Newport or Santa Monica or Malibu, somewhere around, maybe Irvine, somewhere around those places. So I hope the baby's all right, because he's innocent, right? Doesn't matter if it's a he or she. Now, during the time of her detention, according to unconfirmed source, okay, she exposed her relationship with Qin Gang and the collection of national secret. Afterward, Qin Gang was immediately detained as well, and all position was removed. And during Qin Gang's detention, there were sources, again unconfirmed source, that says Qin Gang knew about the leak information of the document to US and who did it, but did not report to the Chinese government to protect that kid. I don't know the detail of the reason why Qin Gang protect that kid. And there's also a rumor in summer last year, okay? It could be true as well. This rumor goes like this, okay? Qin Gang, during his detention, committed suicide on July 17th, 2023, and was rushed to the hospital, Beijing Hospital, 301 Hospital, Beijing 301医院. So I've actually been to that hospital twice. One of the best hospital in China, for sure. But pronounced dead on arrival. So even today, I think you cannot confirm that he's still alive. So that could be real. But I would say that if it is real, I'm not sure will Chinese government ever release that information. It's kind of embarrassing, right? For a foreign minister of a country to commit suicide. That's not good, for the image of the nation. But it could be true, it could be false. Maybe, tomorrow Qin Gang will have like a, press conference and say all the crime he committed and say sorry and those things like that. I don't know. But this is how, the rumor goes, okay? So the interrogation of Qin Gang, I believe, also led to the detention of our protagonists today, General Li and General Wei, all right? Because these two defense ministers all belong to the same camp, the PLA Rocket Army. And this military league is all about the Rocket Army, okay? It's not about other army, because they are in different departments. It's not Air Force or Navy. This is just focused on the Rocket Army, right? So either they are directly involved in the league, or they are responsible because they are the superior of the Rocket Army, right? They need to take blame for this incident. So according to China's official announcement last week, so these two general, ex-defense minister, were accused of receiving bribe, offering bribe, serious misconduct, betraying the trust of the party, and a bunch of serious but vague accusations. Well, of course, Chinese government is not going to release the exact detail, right? Because those details are also involved with, national secret. So that's that. Again, I think I'm more or less accurate on the big picture of this incident. I might miss some minor details, and I know there are many other Chinese who follow this very closely and have all those, detailed information, please, if you want to, say something, go to the comment section, all right? And especially for the Russian part, I'm not sure if this is just, some kind of fancy play or is it real. Can any Russian verify this with me? I have no idea. Okay, let me draw a conclusion to this, okay? Let's start with an American perspective. We might disagree with Americans' foreign policy, but you have to give credit where credit is due. United States have the best network, intel system in the world, okay? And I always argue that United States soft power projection and financial power projection is way stronger than its military power projection. It's able to maintain its hegemony through a well-structured network of intelligence gathering and put in countermeasures before a military intervention is needed. All right. And maybe this is a way for US to discourage China from taking any military actions in South China Sea or Taiwan. And I would say it has achieved part of its purpose to sow doubt among Chinese leadership regarding the confidence in its military ranks. So I would say, yeah, good job, well done, Americans, and happy July 4th. Now, the Chinese perspective. I would say there's 3 levels of potential problems here. I'll rank them as like small, medium, and big problems, okay? Let's start with small ones. The military corruption and bribes, okay? I think for most geopolitical analysts and experts, when it comes to these kind of matters, we understand how the game is played, okay? Military is one of the most corrupted sector of business in the world, no matter where you're from, okay? Military operation procurements are often not transparent and conduct in secrecy, and massive amount of money are always involved. So sometimes it is just not easy to find out what is going on, right? Sometimes it is not just to develop or buy weapons, but also a way to exchange favors or purchase loyalty in different countries. You guys should know how this goes. However, that being said, it needs to be within a certain boundary. I guess I have no idea what that boundary is. When I was handling medical business in China, commissions to hospital staff is very common. There are even hidden guidelines to, how you should, tip people and all those things. It's the same here in US as well, pharmaceutical sector especially, and it is obviously less severe than in China. I'm talking about medical sector, okay? So, because in US, the healthcare sector is already very well paid. Well, not at the lower level, not to the nurse, but I'm talking about doctors and all that. So, the military sector, this is something that is, I would say, impossible to fix completely, no matter what country, again. But you need to, what is the phrase? You need to trim the grass every now and then, and to avoid it to overgrown, right? So you get what I mean. So I consider this to be not so severe of a problem. If this is the only problem, usually from my understanding, how China would deal with it is just to have some kind of internal punishment. And for example, reducing the rank of a certain general, right? The way China deal with these two ex-defense minister, how he announced through official government media to the entire Chinese population, it usually means that the problem doesn't stop there, which bring us to a more severe problem. Let's look at the medium problem, okay? Now, this is about the level of trust regarding the military performance. This is more severe. And according to my sources, there are signs that the problem at this level exists. Let me give you guys what a good example is. If a missile costs, let's say, $1 million, all right? to produce. And due to bribing and all kind of under the table deals, it end up costing, let's say, 1.2 million or 1.5 million or even 2 million, I would say. Well, that's in a way tolerable. Okay, that's bribing and this kind of money laundering maybe. But if a certain military department, such as this PLA rocket army, we're talking about here, let's say, hypersonic missiles, okay? And due to corruption and disinforming the superior, those are not exactly hypersonic missile, but perform like a subsonic missile. Now, that is a much serious issue. So you're lying about the performance of your weapons, which can be fatal if a real war happened, right? Another example is that you claim to have produced, say, 10,000 medium-range missiles, but end up that the military lied about it, and you only have 2,000 missiles in your inventory. That is a much greater problem, since if a war actually starts, the commander-in-chief would build a strategy around the knowledge of his own capability and the strength of the enemy. If you don't even know how many missiles you own yourself, the performance of those missiles, whether it's hypersonic or subsonic, the end result would be catastrophic, right? So from my understanding, many of the China's military contractors, the industry, the factory, the entire Chinese military industrial complex, they are currently under investigation now. So to check out, all the recourse and transactions and developments, are they up to date? Are they real or are they fake? Right? You want to make sure those things are real. So there's this ongoing investigation on what is real quantity and quality of military equipment in China. And this is directly related to whether a military can win a war or not. So if China really intend to take, let's say, Taiwan by force, it needs to make sure all these military inventory can be trusted, right? Now, we're to the big problem, what I consider the big problem. The Intel leak. Okay. How did the leak happen? Who's truly responsible? Whoever done this is considered high treason, I would say. And I believe it is the same no matter which country you are from. This kind of information leaked to another foreign country is bad, okay? The question is also that, is this systematic? In a smaller country, I would say if someone like a defense minister collaborate with a foreign countries and provide highly classified information, this means that the loyalty of that general no longer is with its own country, right? Or at least not with its current government or regime. And if the problem is left unattended, it might lead to, a military coup. That can be dangerous. If the story was true, all right, the Russian side took precaution in how to approach this, because if this was done carelessly, the traitor within China's military rank might escape and ran before, China's government or, agency can lock down and arrest them. A coup in China is unlikely, but it is always important to prepare for the worst. So you don't want this kind of things to happen. And this is something I always wanted to say about China, because I can see a lot of my China-leaning audience in my channel. They might see China as a superpower today, or who has the capability to stand up to US, for example. In reality, there are a lot of problems. Our economic size might have catch up to the United States and well surpass that of Russia and the ex-Soviet. But our global network, our intel, our human resources are still lagging behind. And those things cannot be built without time and real experience. So this is where my conclusion might converge with some of the China's political analysts. If China is truly promoting a unipolar world, a new global order, right? Then it cannot afford to make this kind of amateur mistakes, like this one we're talking about here. I mean, these people, Qin Gang, Li Shangfu, Wei Fenghe, these are all Communist Party members untrusted and promoted by Xi Jinping himself, not from another faction, within the Communist Party. So Xi Jinping need to figure out how to test and select its leadership core more carefully in the future, I would say. We are no longer in a unipolar world, so China cannot afford to be careless and lazy, all right? Well, what is that phase? You have to sweat more during practice in order to bleed less during a real war. Many geopolitical analysts in China believe that we are heading into a war, and better to find out those problems now and fix them, and not find them out during, when you're in the middle of a war. I guess that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please support me through Patreon, buy me a coffee. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Ah,